His idea was to create a shutterfly for 3D scanning. I knew all about 3D printers, but I had never really seen or used a 3D scanner. How many of y'all have ever used a 3D scanner before? So, not too many, right? So yeah, I think everyone here will want to when Charles is done telling his story. So I'm honored to introduce the founder of Scandy, Charles Carriere.
So the first thing I'd like to do is ask Cole Wiley, co-founder of Scandy, to come up and do a 3D scan of me. Now, I'm going to have to stay still for about 10 to 20 seconds, and like many of you, I did just have some Red Bulls, so maybe that was a bad idea. But y'all enjoy the uncomfortable silence.
Spend too much time looking at Charles's backside.
Thank you, Cole. You get my good side? So I'm Charles Carriere, the other co-founder of Scandy. Scandy is the easiest way to create, share, and print 3D scans. By the end of my talk, our software will have taken the scan and prepared it for 3D printing or sharing through scandy.co to your favorite social media. If everything goes well, you'll see a 3D scan of me up on that screen. Fingers crossed. I've been asked to talk to you today not about Scandy, but about why I started Scandy. Last year, I was in the audience. As Chris said, every year there's somebody that's in the audience and then gets up here. And I have to tell you, it's been an amazing journey. But there was a very core emotion that I had to channel in order to get up here. And that emotion is fear, right? What's fear doing up here? This is supposed to be a fun, upbeat event, right? Leave it to the old guy to bring everybody down. But I'd like to point out that I'm in the middle of doing a live demo in front of all of you, right? Investors, journalists, fellow entrepreneurs, and I'm terrified. Honestly, it's scary. And I have come to realize that is an emotion that you experience frequently, if not constantly, doing a startup. Let me give you some background. I'm a husband, father of 4 kids, 2 of whom are teenage girls, so I am qualified to talk about fear, okay? I have a full-time job that's not Scandy. I serve on 2 boards, and when I'm not working, I'm at cross-country practices and baseball practices and dance competitions, you name it. You would think I've got a pretty full plate, and I do. But I had this idea that I couldn't let go of, that I had to sink my teeth into as more than an investor, and I made the decision to start Scandy. And as soon as I did and started talking about it, there was this deluge of opinions and questions that all focused around one simple thing. This is scary, aren't you scared? And the truth of it is I was. And so I had to step back and catalog those fears and evaluate them. And the first fear that I had to deal with is the fear of doing it wrong. The startup playbook that I'm sure all of you know, because everybody that I talked to knew about it, was, okay, you're doing a startup, you quit your job, you work 20-hour days, and you don't see your family. That's the only way you can do it, right? Well, that scared me, so I decided not to do that. I kept my job. I see my family. Those things are very, very important to me. But I had to find another path to make the business work. So I'm not training for triathlons, I'm not binge watching Game of Thrones and Walking Dead, and I have an unhealthy relationship with espresso. True story. So I guess the conclusion was the best way to do a startup is your way. Fear avoided, problem solved. The next big fear was the fear of the skills you don't have. Now, if you're in this room and you can create and make and code and market and finance your idea from start to finish, awesome. That's great. But you shouldn't let the lack of any of those skills dissuade you. You don't have to do it alone. I knew that I couldn't. Fortunately, I've discovered that New Orleans is absolutely brimming with awesome people with amazing talents. You can bootstrap a startup here in New Orleans. It's being done every single day. All the tools you have, all the tools you need are right here. The fact that we're all in this room talking about it is all you need to know. So what did I do? I partnered with this awesome hacker, Cole Wiley, and we put together a team that are just of people that are just as passionate about building this business as we are. So fear tackled, problem solved. The next fear was the fear of the landscape. You know, the 3D printing and scanning landscape is changing every single day. It's crazy. So how do you know that you can survive? Well, I don't know that for sure. But I'm really enjoying the education. I'm forced to learn at the speed of light. And I chose this industry for my startup precisely because the rapid innovation was exciting and creating opportunities. I think the education is worth the investment of time and money. And I'm loving it. So fear embraced, problem solved. But then there was the big fear, the biggest one of all, the one that trumped all the others. And that was the fear of missing an opportunity. You know, my kids talk about FOMO, the fear of missing out. That's not what this is. This is not about missing a party or not being in the right Instagram pic. Fear of missing an opportunity is much more profound than that. You see, I've discovered at my age that opportunities are plentiful, but they are not infinite. You will only get so many of them. So if you want to be afraid of something, really afraid of something, be afraid of missing the right opportunities. In the end, that's what drove me to make my decision and drives me every day. So fear understood, startup launched. So I guess in closing, I would say that, startups are scary things. There's no question. But from my perspective, not doing a startup is much, much scarier. What's scarier than doing a live demo in front of 100 people? Not doing it. Not sharing our progress with you. Not taking the chance to impress the right group of people that can help us on the road to our success. It's okay to fear failure. I know that I do. But I'm encouraging you to get in touch with your true fear. Find your FOMO, your fear of the missed opportunity, and focus on that. And I really hope to see one of you guys up here next year. So, Cole, how do we do?
Okay.
Pretty cool, huh? Thank you all very much.